Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Niyah. Thank you so much for joining me today. One of my biggest goals for the year is to get through the majority of my bookcase before I purchase more books. But for me, I get very intimidated by the amount of books that I have. This is not even the half of it. So to kind of help with that anxiety or indecisiveness that I have when it comes to picking out my next read, I thought, for this season, for spring, I'm gonna minimize my selection pool and I'm gonna pick out 5 books that I would be interested in reading this spring. When I finish my current read, I have no idea what genre, what vibe I'm going for. So I decided that I would pick a book from different genres so that I have an actual selection, some diversity. Before we get into this video though, comment down below your most anticipated read for the spring, or I don't know, some spring recommendations, because I would love to add more books to my list on my phone. I'm not buying more books. But anyways, stop the blabbering and just get into the TBR list. So I decided to pick 2 romance books, a fantasy, a thriller, and a contemporary fiction, and then I also have a bonus book on there. So we'll see if I even read any of these books, and especially if I get to this bonus book. For my thriller pick, I decided to go with The Leaving by Tara Altebrando. I honestly don't know anything about this book. I've never heard anybody talk about this book before. I don't know, the cover is just very ominous, very kind of spooky, and it just leaves a lot of room for just like curiosity. So I'm really interested in that. It says 11 years ago, 6 kindergartners went missing without a trace. Then on the front it says 6 were taken and 5 come back. So basically in this book, 5 kindergartners are taken without a trace, and 10 years later 5 of those kids return, and none of them seem to remember the 6th kid that was taken. So they're all just trying to figure out what their life was like before they were taken, and who they're supposed to be, who their family is, and also try to navigate what exactly happened during the whole decade that they were held in captivity. Okay, and there are multiple POVs in this book, so I think we're getting the 5 POVs of the kids that have returned. My fantasy read, if you're on booktube, it's not going to be anything new to you. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This is another book that I don't really have much information on. I don't really know much about any of the books that I'm reading or that are on this list, but I know that this one's really popular. I know it's a fantasy. I know that it's a part of a series, and that series has literally taken over the reading community. I kind of want to be a part of it. I'm not really in my fantasy era yet, but I feel like this will be a great way to like get my foot in the door and just like step into that genre. I'm gonna read the synopsis of this one too, because again, I don't know anything. A legendary competition, a mesmerizing romance, an unbreakable bond between 2 sisters. Scarlet Dragona has never left the tiny island where she and her sister Tella live with their powerful and cruel father. Now Scarlet's father has arranged a marriage for her, and Scarlet thinks her dreams of seeing Caraval, the faraway once-a-year performance where the audience participates in the show, are over. But this year, Scarlet's long-dreamt-of invitation finally arrives. With the help of a mysterious sailor, Tella whisks Scarlet away to the show. Only as soon as they arrive, Tella is kidnapped by Caraval's mastermind organizer, Legend. It turns out that this season's Caraval revolves around Tella, and whoever finds her first is the winner. Scarlet has been told that everything that happens during Caraval is only an elaborate performance, but she nevertheless becomes immersed in the game of love, heartbreak, and magic with the other players in the game, and whether Caraval is real or not, she must find Tella before the 5 nights of the game are over. A dangerous domino effect of consequences is set off, and her sister disappears forever. Welcome to Caraval. Beware of getting swept too far away. This one just seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Again, in the fantasy world, I typically like to gravitate towards stories that revolve around sisters because, like I mentioned in a former video, I'm very close with my siblings, so any book that has siblings in it, I am buying. I'm definitely going into this with eyes wide open. I don't really know what to expect from this book. I keep pushing this one off because I'm scared it's not gonna meet my expectations, and then I'm gonna be upset at everybody online who's like, oh my gosh, this book is amazing and it's a series. Like, I'm pretty sure there are 3 other books after this, or 2 books and a novella, so we'll see how it goes with this one. For my 2 choices for romance, again, if you are active in the book community, you have heard about these books, you've probably already read these books. I have not. I've also been pushing them off because I'm scared they're not going to live up to the hype or the expectation. But pick number 1 is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. So basically, from my understanding, there's like this magical apartment and there are 2 people that are both living in this apartment, but they're in 2 separate timelines. So I don't know what the accurate timeline is, but there's someone in that timeline and then there's 7 years between the 2. So at this point in time, they're the same age, but like in the apartment, they're the same age, but in reality, like someone is 7 years older than the other. I don't really know. Like I think the girl gets left the apartment from her aunt or something, but there was already someone who had been living there prior. I guess again, I'll just read the synopsis of this one. Sometimes the worst day of your life happens and you have to figure out how to live after it. For Clementine West, that means burying her head in her work as a book publicist, being practical and forgetting the silly things her beloved aunt taught her, like living wide and chasing the moon. Clementine would rather stay grounded and keep her heart safe. For the last 6 months, she's done just that. But when she moves into her late aunt's apartment and finds a strange man standing in the kitchen, a man with kind eyes, a southern drawl, and a taste for lemon pies, her well-laid plans begin to fall apart. Because he's the type of man who, before it all, she would have fallen head over heels for. And she still might. Except he exists in the past. 7 years in the past to be exact. And she quite literally lives 7 years in his future. Her aunt always said the apartment was a pinch in time, a place where moments blended like watercolors. She also said that love is never a matter of time, but a matter of timing. And Clementine fears she may be 7 years too late. Please do not tell me that that does not sound so good. Like, honestly, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'm expecting for my heart to be broken. Because could you imagine finding like your one true love, being able to interact with them, but realizing you're too late? I fear I would die. Like, I fear I would die of heartbreak. I've never heard of like time altering area, like a time altering apartment or a time altering piece of land. I don't know, but it sounds really, really cool and interesting. Definitely heard mixed opinions on this book. So again, going in with eyes wide open, I'm not like a super critical person when it comes to my books. Like, I'm here for a good time, a long time. I'm not here for like analyzing the little things and like looking for literary perfection. I'm just here for vibes. So my second romance pick is Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. It says, today she hates him. It's the last day of senior year. Rowan Roth and Neil McNair have been bitter rivals for all of high school, clashing over test scores, student council elections, and even gym class pull-up contests. While Rowan, who secretly wants to write romance novels, is anxious about the future, she'd love to beat her infuriating academic nemesis one last time. Tonight, she puts up with him. When Neil is named valedictorian, Rowan has only one more chance at victory. Howl, a senior class game that takes them all over Seattle, a farewell tour of the city she loves. But after learning that a group of seniors is out to get them, she and Neil reluctantly decide to team up until they're the last players left, and then they'll destroy each other. As Rowan spends more time with Neil, she realizes he's much more than the awkward linguistics nerd she sparred with for the past 4 years, and perhaps the boy she claims to despise might actually be the boy of her dreams. Tomorrow, maybe she'll already fall for him. Everything about this? It's like my cup of tea. It's like, this is kind of giving me One Tree Hill vibes. Like I'm getting a lot of Nayli vibes. It's just like everything that you thought you knew about this person, all the preconceived notions that you had about this person might not seem as clear as you thought that they were. Like, just realizing when you get to know somebody over time and just kind of working towards one goal and realizing what you thought you knew might not be correct, and then actually falling for that person. And there's a sequel of this book called Past, Present, Future. I might have to read that one too. For my final book of like my definite list of spring reads, I have Two-Way Street by Lauren Barnhold. I don't know anything about this book, never have heard anything about this book, but as soon as I read the synopsis of this in the bookstore, it just sounded so interesting to me. First off, I'm gonna open it up so you can see like the whole thing. I love that. I'm eating that up. It's probably still like basic and boring to others, but I'm kind of eating it up. I typically don't like people on covers, like real people on covers, but because it's not a shirtless man, I'll allow it. In this book, we are following two high school seniors. So they used to be in a relationship, but they broke up. But before they broke up, they had already planned a road trip to go tour their dream school because they were both going to go to the same school. And I think, you know, we already planned the trip. You're literally the only person that I can go with, so we might as well just go on the trip together. Through this time, I believe they're just trying to like figure out kind of what went wrong and just rehash old feelings and just communicate with one another. Now, yes, I did say contemporary fiction. This, if you look it up on Google, it says it's a contemporary fiction. There's obviously going to be some romance, second chance, whatever, but I don't know. This is so spring to me. Again, college. Maybe this is more summery because they're going for orientation. I thought it was for a school tour, but it says they're a high school couple, so technically they're still in school, which means that they haven't graduated yet, right? But I just feel like it's so interesting because could you imagine, I can't relate, but could you imagine going on a road trip with your ex because like you already made the plans? Like imagine going on a trip, like a vacation with your ex. Let's say you're going to Cancun. Would you go to Cancun if you already planned the trip? Would you go to Cancun if you already planned the trip? I would not be going to Cancun. Sorry, you can give my ticket to somebody else, but I would not be attending. So I'm just really excited to kind of see how this pans out. I'm excited to see the drama and the fact that I just feel like I'm gonna love Jordan because he's like still in love with her and there's an actual valid reason why they broke up, and it's not like he cheated on her or something else, like maybe blackmail. I don't know what the drama is gonna be, but I'm really excited to see it. This honestly might be my next read because I've been putting this off for so long. I'm actually so interested in this book, and I think that's why I keep putting it off, because I'm like really excited and like I want to save it for the perfect moment. But I think as soon as I finish picking daisies on Sundays, this is gonna be my next read. Finally, for my fun read, my potential read, I am not gonna be too strict with myself when it comes to this book, but I do really want to read it. It's a manga, Monsters We Make by Corey Kenshin, Volume 1. I feel like it's like dystopian, sci-fi, fantasy type of vibes. I'm gonna go ahead and read the back like I've been doing with all of the other books, just so you can get a better understanding. For Jabari Booker, acceptance into the world-renowned New Eden Academy promised a path to musical mastery, and more importantly, financial freedom for his family in the post-eternal night world. But on his first day, that dream crumbles into a nightmare. Jabari learns the academy is a front for enlisting students to fight a deadly war. Now trapped, he is forced to battle monstrous beings known only as leakers, whose origin and purpose remain a mystery. As Jabari descends deeper into darkness, he realizes terror awaits him. With new allies, Jabari must confront not only the bloodthirsty leakers, but also the corruption feasters in this new city, all under the watchful eyes of Sonata. First off, I love Corey Kenshin, so obviously I want to read this book. But this book just gives me like Hunger Games vibes. Like Hunger Games, put your names in the bowl. You know what you're getting selected for. You know what you're getting picked for. But this, you think you're just going to a school to get, you know, the best opportunities and to just really grow, learn, develop. But really, it's a front for you to go fight deadly monsters and beasts? Are you kidding me? Like, be so for real. Could you imagine thinking you're going to school and they're like, hey, actually, welcome to the military. And the fact that they're recruiting kids for this is also not sitting well in my tummy. I know that book is gonna be great. My little sister has told me it's great. So I'm very excited to get into that book. But anyways, those are the 5 or 6 books that are on my TBR list for the spring. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that maybe you got I put some books on your radar that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like. And again, comment down below your most anticipated book for this season. And also subscribe. You made it this far, you might as well subscribe. It's free. And you know, if you decide in like a video from now or 2 videos from now and you're like, her content's not really for me, go ahead and unsubscribe. That's okay. No hurt feelings around here. Thank you all so much. Also, thank you so much for 50 subscribers. Crazy. To anybody else that would seem like nothing, to me that's insane. And the fact that one of my videos is almost at 400 views, crazy. Thanks again so much for that. But yeah, I'll see you all in my next video soon. Bye.